Now, members, I welcome you to this afternoon sitting and would like to apologize for the late start, but I hope in the usual we shall work fast to cover more space. But in the meantime, join me in welcoming a delegation of staff from the National Assembly of Zambia, Mrs. Serafina Banda, Principal Clerk. Please stand up. You're welcome. Mr. Japheth Chanda, Monitoring and Evaluation Officer. They are here on attachment with the Department of Corporate Planning and Strategy. You're welcome. Now, honour members, I have a few matters to communicate. The first is on the unfulfilled pledges by the government on the issue of the prosecutors in the office of the DPP. I received a letter from the Uganda Association of Prosecutors expressing disquiet and disappointment at the failure by government to honor its undertakings to improve the terms and working conditions of the prosecutors. You may recall in June 2017, the prosecutors went on industrial action, awaiting government action to address their concerns. At that time, their demands were the following: that the government waives taxes on the salaries and other emoluments through an amendment to the Income Tax Act. 2, professional responsibility allowance be accorded to the staff of the office of the DPP, starting financial 2018-2019. They also wanted a supplementary budget to be raised to elevate their salaries and emoluments to the level of their counterparts at the Uganda Registration Services Bureau within 90 days of the industrial action. They also expected the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs to fast track the law, a bill on the office of DPP, which has still not been handled. They also asked that the existing vacancies in their structure be filled so that promotions are made, but also to ensure that the office is working effectively. Now, in spite of numerous correspondences, including a letter which I wrote the Prime Minister on 25th May 2018, follow up on the undertaking by Cabinet on this issue, apparently nothing has happened. So they have written, of course, to express their concern, and I think that I don't want Parliament to be associated with the inefficiency of government on this issue, and I want to direct the Prime Minister to intervene, especially now that we are starting the budgeting process, to ensure fulfillment of the Cabinet undertakings, to improve the plight of the working conditions of the prosecutors under that office. I know that the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee has been recommending the fast tracking of the bill for first reading. I therefore direct the Attorney General to expedite the tabling of the bill for first reading, taking into account that by September or October, the work pace would have slowed down. Honourable members, I also want to talk about the deplorable state of our bridges, and I know that some members are going to raise some issues. Maybe I'll leave it to the honourable members to raise an issue of an incident that happened during the weekend in Saka Swamp. That bridge collapsed 8 months ago. We also want the Minister of Works to evaluate the other bridges in the country so that we're able to give timely advice to travellers on which roads to use for their safety. The third issue, honourable members, has to do with the recent cabinet appointments and changes. There have been reassignments and transfers. I want to ask the Prime Minister to give us the full list of cabinet ministers and ministers of state and their dockets. At the moment, I have to keep on guessing which minister is where, what's the configuration of the ministries. So please help me so that we don't have to keep on guessing. If it could be done today, I would be happy. The second one, honour members, has to do with the rampant evictions going on in the country. Today we read about 35,000 people who have been displaced in Kiriandongo in order for people to do farming. And this is 9,300 acres of land. And the RDC there, when he was asked, said, oh, they went there on their own without being allocated. So government has come out and allocated the land for serious farming activities. But so far, 14 primary schools, 20 churches, and 8 health units have been demolished. How could government have built primary schools in land which was being occupied illegally? So it's incomprehensible. We need answers about this. And honourable members, I think as a country we are creating landless people, we are creating unhappy people, we are increasing poverty by these actions. These days evictions are now normal. It's now normal in this country. It's no longer raising eyebrows. I hope that the government can come up and tell us what they're going to do, otherwise we are creating a very, very big problem. The third matter on our members has to do with the zonal agricultural research institutes in the 7th Parliament. We resolved here that the Busoga region should be removed from Buginyanya, which is in the highlands of Masava. Today, this has not taken place despite our resolution. The Buginyanya region has the biggest number of districts, 25. That's Busoga, Bukedi, and the Masava region. On average, the other zonal officers as follows. The Abi region, that's West Nile, has 8 districts. The Nabwin region has 16. Ngeta region has 16, that's Langwa Achori. Mbarara has 14, that's Ankora and Greater Masaka. Kabwekan, Chigezi has only 6. Mukono has 21. Bulindi, which is Bunyoro, has only 7. Revitava, which is Greater Toro, has 8. So I think now you should not be surprised why Wokede and Busoga among the poorest regions in this country. If agriculture is being managed from the highlands for the lowlands, something must change. So the Ginyanya region is concentrating on crops of the highland. Yet they're supposed to be now organizing the crops of the plains. This is not right. And I want to ask the Minister of Agriculture to implement our resolution of the 7th Parliament that the Busoga region should have their own agricultural zone. And it's not as if we have no capacity. We have Ikure, this Farm Institute. It has 214 acres. It has administration buildings. It has staff houses. It has dormitories. It has hydropower. It has a water reservoir. I don't see why we should be forced to go to the highlands. So I want answers from the Minister of Agriculture. The Busoga region must give them their own zone so that the agriculture in the region is attended to by people who understand our soils and our crops. He must do so this month. We want a letter and he must come here and hand over. Here. Because 7th Parliament, no. Minister of Agriculture must come here and acknowledge the need for Busoga to have our own zone and to take it to Ikure where we have got facilities. Thank you.